Well, Henshaw here again, your local constitutional cook from California, and I'm here to teach you how to win your case. And it almost doesn't matter what it is these days, because you're going to learn that you have a right to be in a common law judicial court from day one. That you ain't ever going to see one if things don't change here. The problem is that no matter what it is, there's a mortgage banker, child procurement syndicate, homeowners association, you name it. They never made a full disclosure of all the terms and conditions of the agreement, when you signed on to it. And that doesn't work. That's not a voluntary, knowing, and intelligent way for rights, especially in a de facto national socialist government that treats us all like the relationship is guardian and ward, really master and slave when you think about it. And we're so damn stupid that we couldn't make a voluntary, knowing, and intelligent waiver of rights if we tried, if that's the way it really is. But they never told you. And that beats them without more, but you're going to find out there's a hell of a lot more. Send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com, and you'll find out that none of these uh, plaintiffs, quote unquote, have any standing even in their corrupt administrative tribunals. Yet we have the right to trial by jury according to the course of the common law, and that's secured to even inhabitants of states or territories pursuant to Article 2 of the Northwest Ordinance of 1787 as reenacted by the first Congress. How important that is, because all the original states admitted into this union as sovereign independent states, except Louisiana, were common law states. But there isn't one iota of any common law judicial court remaining in existence that I've been able to find. And you say, what the hell happened? A great question to which I have a lot of answers. Send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. To learn a lot more. And instinctively, you're going to know a lot of what I'm saying. But when you get the details like I have them, then it all fits together and makes sense. And now we can take these bastards on in their own corrupt courts with a great opportunity to take them down. And you're going to learn all about that and learn why. It's that good. Send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. And working together, we can do, almost miraculous things here. And maybe best of all, for a very modest price, you can teach your children and your posterity what you have learned, and they'll avoid getting into these situations from day one and, in the beginning, which is even better. And if we get back to our federated Republican form of government of defined and limited powers, that's icing on the cake, especially compared to that much ballyhooed democracy we have today. 3 wolves and 2 sheep voting on what's for dinner, aka today's elective despotism. And that's all it is. You're going to learn there's no qualified electorate, no sovereign independent states, no qualified jurors, no habeas corpus, you name it. But where we come from, there still is, because those original states are still there. Send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com, to learn more about this. It'll be one of the best things you've ever done here. And it will take a little work, but it's my job to get you up to speed as quickly as possible. And it took me a while, by the way. I didn't get it overnight. Once it hit me in the face, I said, my God, this can't be right. But it was, and it is. It's all there when you know the truth, none of which you learned in the mandatory public education system now, did you? I didn't all those decades ago, and I haven't been teaching it for probably over 100 years. The real history of the United States. Boy, if I had gotten that, I went to school right outside of Washington, D.C., for crying out loud, where you'd think we might have gotten a much better education. And in many ways it was, but not this one. Didn't learn jack shit about any of this. Right outside, almost walking distance to the White House, for crying out loud. But that's what I'm here to do, is to help you fix the problem. Teach your children, your posterity, your friends, and get them to contact me too. uwinnincourt@gmail.com. And we all get out there and start fighting and putting up battles here. And the good news is we won't even have to file a lawsuit against most of these bastards because it's so strong. And with the Supreme Court now acting like a judicial court at the end of their fifth term, at the end of the month, they're sounding more and more exactly like me. And I've got maybe the biggest win in the history of that court, too, from the case I was involved in some detail. And the big thing that happened there was a clerk of court refused to file our clearly labeled non-statutory federal writ of habeas corpus. And that got some interest at the Supreme Court. Now, they didn't act officially, but my friend's been home now for almost 11 months. And he got out after serving less than half the time of the minimum sentence of 3 years. And he got 3 to 15 years. And the governor's office did not do that of their own accord. But I know what I'm doing, how to do it, when to do it. I'm going to teach you the same thing. That's what's exciting. We have the Supreme Court on our side, and I'm hoping we get some retirements at the end of the month. If we get 3 younger conservatives on there, and boy, when the shit hits the fan here, it's going to be very, very ugly. But they're going to be there for the next 15 years, and they can tell the American people, yeah, this court has screwed up big time. We apologize for that. We take responsibility for it, but we're going to start doing the job you put us here to do, which is to respect their rights, and to get you out of all the crap you're in, this 14th Amendment birthright citizenship, and their approval rating is going to shoot through the roof when they do that. Wow, it's that good. And that's a lot of bargaining leverage for us, too. To get some big settlements, and we're going to get them in most, if not all, the cases. And maybe you see my love letter, otherwise known as the settlement demand to the first. Telling them exactly with attitude and with authority what you've done and what we can prove, and telling them to get your checkbooks out and be damn lucky that's all you're doing. And that could run as much as mid 8 figures to the left of the decimal point. With all they've got done and all we can do. And the great news is about that, it isn't just one case. Because one case gets decided on the record, particularly by the U.S. Supreme Court, puts all the HOAs and corporate landlords out of business there and then. That's simple, from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon. And I hope I'm around long enough to see that. We'll see about that part. But that's the other good news to me personally here. I'll be 77 later this year. And my life is still ahead of me. It's still exciting. It's amazing. And I've been divinely granted great health so that I can do the job I'm doing. I don't know where all this came from, but it did. So I want to help you and your friends. Like I say, send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. Tell your friends about my videos. Tell them they're going to love what I'm doing and how we're doing it here. And it's nothing hard, not a whole lot of legalities and other BS that they teach in law schools these days. It's embarrassing how ignorant these people really are and or how corrupt. Because you get into one of their courtrooms, by the way, and you see a backroad bastard in there, or any state bar association attorney, you ain't in judicial court. And we have a right to be there from day one. What the hell happened here? That's what you're going to learn. I will teach you. And we can maybe now take them down in their own corrupt administrative tribunals. And there's very good reason to think that. You'll learn all about it. Send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. And remember to tell your friends, and sign up here, like the videos, and we start working together here. We can do some miraculous things for you, your children, and your posterity. Thank you.